just shared it on my story so then people can follow
Fantastic.
You're tapped into the Faith and Fire podcast with Ken Bishop and CG Cody. You're tapped into the Faith and Fire podcast with Ken Bishop and CG Cody. You're tapped into the Faith and Fire podcast with Ken Bishop and CG Cody. You're tapped into the.
You hear it? Oh, thank you, babes. All right, so we are. Thank. Oh, see. You know what? I love you. So, oh man, that's okay. First of all, welcome to Faith and Fire podcast. This is our Friday night fireside chat. Listen, I got my guy with me. Typically, you guys will see me on Friday night with Lady B. However, this evening, I am with the one and only. The one and only. We calling him DB. That's what we gonna call him. DB on him. Man, Demetrius, bruh, listen, thank you so very much for coming in and tapping in with us.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Man, for sure. We are actually very grateful. I'm very grateful that the audio is working because we have some weird stuff happening, and I'm trying to figure out how to get all this situated so that it is constant and consistent. But enough of that.
The most important part, we got it going.
Man, listen.
We'll be able to get out this
We
word.
here now.
Yes,
You
sir.
feel me? We are here now. So, listen, y'all share this out. It is on the Faith and Fire Instagram, not on Ken Bishop Instagram. It is on the Faith and Fire Instagram. So y'all want to tap into that. But YouTube family, what's happening? Welcome. Facebook family, what's going on? We're so grateful. Listen, we ain't gonna be before you long, but this Friday night fireside chat, I really wanted to chat about something that is super important because it came up in the midst of transition. I'm actually going through a transition right now, bro, which is really crazy.
Okay.
Really crazy. And I was prepared for it. And there are other people that are going through the same transition, but the results may vary. I mean, it's kind of simple as that. The results may vary. And so that's kind of what we're going to be talking about briefly with you all this evening, because my mom was actually telling me about a young man who had ended his life.
Okay.
And it didn't make sense. For all intents and purposes, it didn't make sense. I don't know what the rest of the story is, but we continued to talk, and we were actually chatting about a few other young people that she knows and is aware of, some young adults and so forth and so on. And what she realized is that they were comparing themselves to everybody else on the web.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're looking at what other folks' lives are being portrayed as, and they're thinking to themselves, I don't measure up. I'm not doing enough. And as we were chatting, I'm thinking to myself, it really doesn't compute, right? Not well, because if I got the same bucket of tools and you got the same bucket, we both have the same bucket of tools. What I do with them is going to be different, just naturally, because you're different.
Exactly.
Comparing ourselves and wanting to amass the same success or wealth or what have you as somebody else is a dangerous place to be in. And when you have people that put themselves in that position, these are the types of things that take place, right? People start to really harm themselves, or they start to get down and depressed, and there's a lot of anxiety and all kinds of stuff. But before we dive into that per se, firstly, this is where it really hit home. Okay, so y'all see me. Hold on, Facebook family. I need to make sure y'all see this fella, okay? Y'all see me. Amen. Okay. Hey. But this guy right here, I mean, wait a minute. So we go to the same gym. We go to the same gym.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we don't look the same. We both put in work,
Yes, sir.
but we don't look the same.
Hey, and some days you beat me there.
I mean, there's that part. There's that
You
part.
know, so hey,
And but the crazy part is I'm looking at we use the same equipment.
yes, sir.
You'll put in a couple hours, I'll put in a couple hours. Everything foundationally with regards to the gym is exactly the same. The only variable is me.
Yeah, and then well, I guess you could say the different weight that we use on each machine is different.
Well,
varies, you know.
Now you talk, man. Listen, hold on. Let me adjust something real quick because I want to make sure y'all can see my guy. He over here about to start talking good, and
You know, that's
See?
the only thing that I can think of, you know,
See?
family that's different is just the weight. The weight is different. And like you said in the beginning, you know, the young man that took his life and the individual that was comparing, you know, you can't because
Yeah.
you don't know what weight was on that brother, and then the weight that he had on his shoulders is probably nowhere near the weight that you had.
bruh, listen, you just nailed it right there. For real, for real. The weight is different. The weight is different. I can contend with what I can contend with. You can possibly contend with more.
Exactly.
But the weight, man, it's not going to be the same.
No, not at all.
And people are so quick to, again, compare themselves to others with regards to that aspect, not realizing that you're playing a dangerous game.
Yes, sir.
Facebook and YouTube, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to get cameras adjusted real quick. So don't get mad at me because I'm over here fooling with stuff. But I do want y'all to be able to see my brother. I know probably people online are probably like, what is he doing right now? Yeah, I know. I'm fiddling with stuff. My bad. But I need y'all to be able to see him because he is sharing. He talking good is what he doing.
Man, I'm just, you know, just giving whatever God put on my heart and mind to say, man, that somebody might, you know, need to hear.
Factual, actual.
Giving it to them, you know.
That's for sure, bro. All right, so, all right, just a couple more little adjustments. So, y'all, for real, I had all this set, like really, and then I started having some weird technical stuff going on, and then I was just like, okay, let's just go ahead and get started, and I can adjust on the way. So now we are getting it together, and I think we're gonna be straight here in just a second. So y'all bear with me. I want to make sure it's even. I'll at least try to be even. What you think? Be like, I mean, I guess.
Both, you
I
know,
mean,
like,
if that's what you want to do.
I'm with it, man.
All right. See, I'm not necessarily a whiz at this stuff, but I try to get it right. All right. We're gonna have to go with that right there. I think this is gonna have to work. Boy, we can see you. I hope y'all can see me. You really don't need to see me, but such as it is. All right. We're all a work in progress, amen. Okay, so, bruh, I mean, I'm straight up work in progress. All right. Sheesh. Okay, so, yeah, so the narrative, the perspective that we are indeed a work in progress, but we have different capabilities and capacity.
Yes, sir.
I'm capable of doing certain things that you may not.
Yep.
Vice versa. My capacity may be a bit broader than yours in certain regards, right? The fact of the matter is, regardless of what elements are in place in front of us, if I go and start to utilize these things and you go and start to utilize the same things, the result is going to vary.
Yes.
Period. So me and my mom were chatting and I was just like, so thinking about this narrative, thinking about this perspective that the results are going to vary. Why do you think that is? You know, right? How do you think people end up in this type of space where, you know, they're trying to chase the bag or chase the success or again amass, you know, the fame or whatever as someone else?
Well, I mean, I think somewhat, you know, like, in my opinion, I think a lot of it is that, you know, they're individuals that really don't understand who they are. You know what I mean? They don't understand like their purpose, or some people can say, well, maybe because they're what's the word I want to use? I mean, it's like, I can say for myself, let's say if I was in a situation where, you know, there's a brother that, you know, I really look up to, that I want to be like, you know what I'm saying? And that's fine, but, you know, to the point to where I'm willing to, like, base my whole livelihood and everything off the way that he do things to
Right.
what I'm going to do the same exact thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I would be very, like, I would be insecure as far as with myself.
That part.
That would be the reason why I would say somebody would want to covet somebody else's lifestyle, or want to copy exactly what they do, because you're not 100% locked in at who you are.
Right.
You know.
Man, so you brought about a wonderful word that makes absolute sense, and it did come up when me and my mom were chatting, and that was coveting. Right? We could say, oh no, I just want to try to do the same thing, even though I think or I know that it's going to be a little bit different. But are you really? Like,
Exactly.
at its core, you're coveting.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of envy there too.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you wouldn't want what somebody else has.
Exactly.
Bible tells us what God has for you
It's for you.
is for you. Like this, your blessing is your blessing is your blessing is your blessing. I don't want no parts of it other than being able to be a part of how it comes about for you.
Exactly.
Outside of that, have at it.
Yes, sir.
Because once I start to insert myself into a space that doesn't belong to me, now I'm an intruder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What does the body do to things that don't belong in it?
Kick it out.
Bruh, it get to attacking it.
Yeah.
So now you wonder why you feeling some kind of way or things aren't going the way you really want them to go. Well, because you're an intruder in somebody else's life. You're trying to walk somebody else's path. That ain't never going to end well.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I truly feel like when we do that, y'all listen, social media is social media is social media. And a lot of people blame it, right? What's wrong with the world today? Social media. What's wrong with the kids today? Social media. Well, here's the kicker.
Social media wouldn't exist if we wouldn't entertain it. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bruh.
I mean, social media only drives off people that's logging into it.
Come on.
That's watching it.
Listen, we're the social part of the media. Like, social media doesn't exist without us pumping junk into it,
Not at all.
stuff into it, good stuff into it. Like, it doesn't exist without us imparting ourselves there. With that being said, you following somebody on social media, it doesn't matter the platform, and you're seeing how they're doing and so forth and so on. Unless you know that person, factual, actual, unless you've been there, you've seen them do what they doing and whatever they posted or whatever, and you know it's true. People can post whatever they want, and it can be an absolute lie.
Exactly.
So now you trying to measure up to a lie?
Yeah.
Where they do that at, bruh? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's misguided, man. You know, and it's like, that's why you got to be really, you know, like confident in who you are. You know what I mean?
Bro,
And just
big facts.
know where your relationship with God is and what's your foundation, you know, and kind of lean on his understanding and his guidance. But a lot of times, like you said earlier, is that, you know, I talk to my nephews and some of the young individuals that God, you know, have me interact with and run across. And it's like when you talk to them, you know, because you got to meet them where they are. You know what I mean? A lot of times
sure.
they don't understand certain things, and in order to understand where their thought process is, we have to come to their level. So a lot of times, like you said, it's like they see people that they you know, they feel like, okay, well, I like this person, I like this artist, I really appreciate what they've done for this game, that game, or that industry, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, where it gets kind of, you know, scary is when, like, us as black and, you know, black culture,
Yeah.
when we grew up without father figures or, you know, people that we respect to kind of give us that guidance, we seek that out, but then this generation seeks it in the wrong places. You know, they look up to different rap artists and different athletes and stuff like that, and that's fine. But like you said, it's a difference in actually appreciating their craft, respecting what they have done,
Yeah.
and then kind of like seeing, okay, well, you know, let's say LeBron has a great work ethic. I want that work ethic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But it's a difference when you like, I want my whole life to be like Bron. I want to be a billionaire. I want to have this. I want to have that. No, my man, like, God ain't got no respect of a person. So whatever LeBron has is for LeBron. And whatever God has for you is for you. And God created everything on this earth. So there's no reason why you can't have it. But I'm going to tell you this. He's not going to give it to you if you're not ready for it. You know what I'm saying? If it's not for you, if you're not ready for it, I don't care what you do, it's not going to happen. You know?
Well, you gonna just go and make sense? Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, buddy.
But then what would you say to people that tune in and say, well, hey, can you explain to me why was it given to LeBron? You know what I'm saying? I've never seen LeBron Christian walk. I've never seen him around this, that, and the other Christianity, but yet he has, you know, $1 billion fortune.
That's true.
And we never hear him talk about Christ or anything like that. There are going to be people asking that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what would your response be to those individuals that judge his Christian walk and why he's so rewarded and we're not?
Proverbs 13:7. One pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. So that's not to say that LeBron is pretending, but that is to say that if we're not careful, we'll see that and feel like maybe I'm not doing something right. Maybe God isn't the God that I've been hearing about, the God that my mama and them been preaching about in the past. So, right? We'll start to think that's not the case, because why are the seemingly unrighteous so successful, while the righteous are constantly chasing for ends meet? Well, I mean, the long and short, and it actually is in Proverbs. There's a few other scriptures in Proverbs that talk about how we should be careful to not be so worried about what the unrighteous are doing, because their day is coming. We need to be concerned about us, keep them in our prayers, but we also need to be seeking God for what he has for us, because what the unrighteous are seemingly holding on to, i.e. wealth and power and so forth and so on, it actually amounts to zero in God's eyes. So it's not to say you got to be poor, because he never said that. God never said that we were supposed to be poor, right? Poor in heart, right? Or poor in spirit. Sorry, not poor in spirit, not poor in heart. It is, blessed are the pure in heart. Sorry, not poor in heart. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. So it's a part of the Beatitudes, where essentially you not having is a bigger blessing than having, because all that we amass really comes from God anyway, right? He is the source. And so honestly, what I would say is, don't worry about them, because you don't know what they have to go through, had to go through, have to keep going through just to keep what they got. And if all your energy is going into keeping what you got, where is that energy in charity, right? In giving to others, in helping others? Matter of fact, where is that energy in, again, the source, right? I'm focused so much on the gift that I forget about the gift giver. Like, that's in my mind, that's insane. But here's the kicker. I told y'all I'm going through a transition right now, and I was on a call with some brothers from the company, and one of the guys was like, "Man, this is crazy that this is happening," and I just bought a house a year ago. I said, "Bruh, it was a year in June.
Yeah.
This house spanking new,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm amidst a transition."
Mm-hmm.
I feel you, but I have to remember that God still got it. We're both going through the same transition, but the results of what happens on the other side of
It's
this,
gonna be different.
they gonna vary.
It's gonna hit different.
They gonna vary. Prayerfully, he's on, you know what I'm saying? He lands on the beautiful side of what God has for him. Same for me. But those results are gonna vary. So good, bad, or indifferent, we cannot put ourselves up against someone else and start to essentially covet their life. Proverbs, let's see. Oh, here we go. Proverbs 13:25. The righteous has enough to satisfy his appetite. The belly of the wicked suffers want. So those that are seemingly wealthy, that are unrighteous, why are they wealthy? Well, number one, that's their hunger. That's what they keep going after. The bag is the goal. Not what to do with it, not how to invest it, not how to share it. Acquisition. Acquisition is the goal. And so if that's where you are, then you're just going to keep getting. I'm going to get what I can what I get, sit on the can. And then I'm going to go get some more. That's the life. So, you know, yeah, we are so much more blessed in knowing who provides for us than to always be chasing provision.
Yes, sir.
So, you are in a very interesting spot, man, because there's a lot that you do already. There's more to come should God continue to move you in that direction.
Yes, sir.
Bruh, you're gonna be right in that. I'm sorry, you could potentially be right in that space where somebody sees D and is like, yo, I gotta get it like that.
Yeah.
But do they have any idea what you've been through
No.
to even get here?
Nah. And the thing is, Keith, like, you can tell somebody and give them like a glimpse of your story, you know what I'm saying, and tell them how and what things you have already and still going through. And mind you, we haven't even achieved the goal yet. You know what I'm saying?
Still working on it.
So the main thing that keeps me, you know, balanced and hungry is that, you know, I know that whatever you ask God for, He will give to you. You know what I'm saying? And even though we might not agree with where our current situation is, that's where God has you for a reason. Like I told you last week, a lot of times we're in situations because of our actions and because of our disobedience. You know what I'm saying? As far as where we don't want to be.
Right.
And it boils down to obedience.
Yeah, it really
like
does.
You said, you know, your beautiful home, man. Now, God knew that was going to happen before we even knew.
I mean.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean.
So like you said, now, you and old boy have the same situation going on, but where's your faith going to be as far as like, you know what? Man,
Oh, yeah.
God know what I need before I even ask.
That part.
I didn't know it was going to happen like this, but He did.
He already had it
You
in
know
the
what I'm
bag.
saying?
He
So
already
now-
had it in the bag.
It's like, where's your relationship with Him as far as like, are you going to trust the fact that He knows what He's doing and leave it in His hand and keep doing what you need to be doing?
Bruh.
Or are you going to, oh my, you know, Lord, I might have to do something. You know, I got a mortgage to pay for. I got this, I got that. You know, all this stuff coming on me. I got to do something.
Bruh, stuff got to get done.
Yes, it
Stuff
has
got
to
to get done.
And as a man, you take care of your business, but from the spiritual aspect, man, look who you serve. You know what
That
I'm saying?
part.
He created everything.
Everything. But, man, you know what? You shared something just a second ago. Really dope. You know, what He's going to give you. So the things that He's going to give you because you pray for them. So let me backtrack because real time, y'all, like for real, y'all already know how it happens. Real time, my brain is going. So you said that God will give us the desire of our heart.
Yes, sir.
But we also know that the word tells us that the heart is deceptive, and desperately wicked. We also can end up desiring what somebody else has. And he go, okay, cool, I get to it.
Now, would that fall under the line of permissive will and perfect will?
Bruh, that's all permissive. That's all permissive. I'm going to permit you to have this thing because you said you wanted it, you desire it, so I'm going to give it to you. Here's the thing. The results may vary with regards to how successful you are with that thing.
Exactly.
I want, dude, one of my favorite vehicles, right? One of my favorite vehicles is a G-Wagon.
Okay.
I want a G-Wagon. I really want a G-Wagon.
Yes, sir.
But do I really want a G-Wagon? I ain't never sat in one. I don't even know if I fit. It looks big. It looked like it fit me, but so do I really want it? So just because I'm seeing cats rolling in them and then they got them suited and booted, blacked out and the big rims and all that, even the classic look, I can desire it all I want, but I still got to be careful with my desires. What am I going to do with it? What'd be the point? What's the purpose? If we don't start to really look at our desires, what we're asking for, and really think it through, you're basing what you want that's going to impact your life, that's going to be a blessing, such is your desire, be a blessing to your life based off of what somebody else is doing with it. To me, that's just absolutely bananas. Like, that just seems crazy to me. Yeah. It just seems insane. So, okay, I want to be a defensive back. Really? Okay, I could desire it.
Oh yeah.
But there's a whole lot of work I'm gonna need to do in order to even get there.
Yes, sir.
But the work that I'm about to do, the journey I'm about to embark upon, because God, this is what I really want. God says, okay, cool, I'll start to open the doors and I'll put you in the path so you can do it. But that's not my perfect will for you. And then I fool around and get hurt.
Exactly.
Whose fault was that?
Yours, because you asked for it. And that's the difference. You know?
Sound like to me what you want to say is be careful what you ask for. Like,
Exactly.
come on, dude.
That's exactly what that means, man.
We have to be so careful of not falling prey to coveting what others have, because again, you don't know what they had to go through to get there, and God is a God who walks us through process. There's purpose. There are plans. Can he do quick work? Yes. Can he snap the proverbial finger and things just change? Absolutely. But when blind man came to Christ and he spit on the earth and then put it on his eyes, when he went and washed, he saw trees first, not people. He had to come back and go again, and then he saw people. So even with the quick work, there's still work.
Man, it's always work.
Man, but what you said in the podcast, listen, when this joint come out, it is bananas. I'm still editing and going through some stuff. It's going to be posted real soon. But when that joint comes out, it's going to be nuts. But what my guy said was dreams and hard work are sold separately.
Yeah, so it's the dreams are free, but the work is so separate.
Come on, man.
And those are facts. I mean, you can dream all day, but those dreams become a reality when you put in the work.
You got to put in the work, though.
Gotta put in the work. You know what I'm
The
saying?
work is necessary. And again, you putting your hands to work that wasn't designed for you is dangerous.
Yes.
Because, again, the results may vary. Better is a little, Proverbs 15:16, better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble with it. So if you're comparing yourself and you're wanting to get like other people has currently, or even how other people had, be careful with those desires. Be careful with driving towards what somebody else is doing. You need to be praying to God for your purpose, his plan for you, his perfect will for you, and walking that out.
Yes, sir.
Could it go congruently with somebody else?
Yes.
Sure. Could it be similar?
Yes.
Sure. But at the end of the day, I'm me.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be
I'm
the
saying,
same.
God ain't got no respect of a person.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, my grandma used to tell me all the time, you know, like when what God has for one, He has for all. You know,
True
but
that.
it's like you said though, it's a difference in coveting and
Mm-hmm.
wanting exactly what somebody else has
Yeah,
than
yeah.
wanting what your heart desires. You know what I mean? It's
Dangerous
different.
place to be in. Dangerous place to be in. So, real quick, a PSA. You see this dope hat. Let me make it big for you.
Oh, yeah.
Man, come
Chocolate
on, man.
white,
God favors
Hey,
me.
man, you know the chocolate white. You know.
Boy, you clean.
I appreciate it, man.
Boy, you clean. So this is D's his line. And so we're still working on the website and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a lot of this coming out to you all so that you can support. I have a God Favors Me shirt. Legit, I actually wore it last Sunday. So, man, no, this is clean, dude. I like it. So, look, y'all make sure to reach out. Hit me up here in the chats, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Hit us up, and we'll get you linked up and connected with D so that you can cop this gear because it is absolutely dope. We want to support one another, and especially support folks in the right way, people that are doing amazing things. So I definitely wanted to shout you out for that.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. So let's shift. All right, so we chatted about results may vary. Y'all know how I get down. That's probably going to end up being a Sunday service message at some point once I continue to unpack this some more because God is constantly unpacking things for me and sharing with me. So there's going to be more on this because there's a lot of scriptures, especially in Proverbs, bro,
Okay.
that really point to us being so careful of wanting what others have. It's just it's a slippery slope. But let's tap in real quick before we get ready to shoot up out of here.
Let's do it.
Relationship.
Yes, sir.
It seems like there are a lot of men that are really trying to effectively navigate relationship. But what I'm seeing in the instances where it's not going that great is because of the shutdown. Why do you think we do that? Why do you think men will just shut down on you?
Family, I think, in my opinion, I feel like, it has to do with pride. Pride. But the main thing, I think, is fear. You know what I mean? It's fear because we feel like they will judge us as we're weak. You know, we're not, strong anymore because we express our emotions and feelings. And that's not the case. If anything, that's a sign of weakness. When you're scared to express how you feel,
Right.
vent,
Right.
talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we need that, man. And I know a couple of weeks ago, Father's Day actually, Bishop T.D. Jakes was talking about that as far as like, us as men, we shouldn't be ashamed to cry. We should be ashamed to express when we're tired, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot on your shoulders, man. And
Yeah, big facts.
you should be afraid to, vent when things are bothering you. Because you have to talk about it, man. You really do. And that like you said, when we started the show, man, about the young man that committed suicide, it even gets to a point to where you get so overwhelmed with everything. Satan, give you thoughts like that. Hey, just,
just shut it down.
Shut your life off. Just cut your life. And that's not, it's not going to solve anything. It's not going to solve the issue.
No.
If anything, it's going to cause more pain and suffering on your family that's left.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
I think number one thing is fear, man. I think it's fear.
So, I absolutely agree, man. And it's fear. If we quantify that a little more, fear of vulnerability, right? Fear of transparency. I've taught before there's a huge difference between vulnerability and transparency. A huge difference. If I am transparent, then you're seeing right through me. By definition. There's nothing hidden. What I truly believe everybody doesn't get to see that. Everybody doesn't get that.
Yes, sir.
They shouldn't. You know what I mean? Because we're supposed to be as wise as serpents, but as harmless as doves. If you can constantly see my hand,
Yeah.
then I'm not moving smartly.
That's a problem.
You know what I mean? So if we are not supposed to let the right hand know what the left hand's doing,
Yeah, talk to him.
I can't show you everything.
Talk to him.
So there's a huge difference between transparency and vulnerability. Can I be vulnerable? Yes, to a degree as well, because vulnerability for men happens in our heart, not our head. And so what I think a lot of people, we're talking about relationships. So what I think a lot of women don't understand or have a difficult time understanding is just how protective we are of heart.
Yes.
We are extremely protective of our hearts because we love very intentionally from our hearts. We'll process from our minds. We'll plan from our minds, right? We'll do a lot from our minds. But when it comes down to love, man, it's starting right in the heart first.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't go head to heart. No.
No.
It's starting right in the heart. That's why if a man lock down and listen, if he lock in with you, he with you.
Yeah. I believe that, man.
Especially if you in his heart,
Yes, sir.
done and done.
Yes, sir.
He is with you, but full around and step on that heart. That's when the head comes in.
Yeah.
Because now the head's like, okay, I know how to protect the heart. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Time to bust a move.
feel
I'm
smart.
shutting the whole thing down.
Yep.
And that's what ends up happening. So I think we need to do a better job of connecting the two, or allowing both what we think and feel, our intellect, and things of that nature, and then how we move and navigate the fervency of our heart. We need to allow these things to work in consort. They need to walk hand in hand, as it were, because sometimes your heart's going to feel and desire to do some things, and your head is like, wait a minute, let's think this thing through.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
Let's think this thing through. And then sometimes your heart's like, hey, no, this is where it is. I feel it. And your head is like, and your heart got to go, no. This is what it is. You'll get it later
Yeah.
because I understand it now,
Exactly.
or I feel it now. So these two things have to work hand in hand, and I think we'll find ourselves in a better place. But the other side of that, though, is, man, I think I'd rather have a person shut down on me than to go off on me. I mean, because if you shut down, then at least you're quiet, right? You're probably thinking
Right.
or stewing, but that gives me an opportunity to take a step back too and start
But see,
doing some evaluation.
that's what's scary about it. Because like when they shut down, it's like you don't know where they are.
True.
At least if they, like going off or whatever, you can determine,
Yeah.
dictate the narrative as far as like, you know what? Me personally, I'm not for confrontation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of be humble.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
your wife get it out.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
But if she's shut down and not saying anything, she's already salty or she's upset.
True that.
It get dangerous. Like
It
what
can.
are the
It
thoughts?
can.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
can. It
But
can.
you're right though. Sometimes it is best to just
Gotta
quiet,
let
it be,
Because here's the thing, man.
because you're not getting anywhere.
You not getting anywhere.
You
And
know
it's
what I
like you kind of want to say, I could say to each his own. However,
Yeah.
comma, there is a process, an overall process. And I think, yes, is there a space where once y'all start, the rah-rah is loud and
Yeah.
y'all fussing and carrying on, then yeah, somebody need to shut it down, because you're going to start talking all kind of sideways. You're going to truly say some things that you don't want to say.
Exactly.
Not what's not in there.
Out of anger.
Because it's gonna be out of the mouth, out of the mouth, the heart speaks. So if you talking sideways to somebody, that's because it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Again, the Bible does tell us that the heart's jacked up. But David was a man after God's own heart. Another message for another day. Anyway,
No, that's facts.
so we do have to be really careful in that regard. However, comma, when there is that quiet space. Even if somebody's stewing, you can't stew for so long, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people are like, you know what? I can hold a grudge forever. Can you though?
Nah, you can't.
Can you though?
can't.
At some point, you thought about that person.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
even
mean?
when people say, I'm taking it all the way to the grave, or they died, and didn't forgive that individual, at some point in their life, like you said, it was either on here
Mhm.
or it was in here.
Mhm.
When you thought about that individual,
Yep.
what you did, why you did it.
Yep. Yep.
What if I just do apologize, or
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
I
yeah.
could have done it, differently.
Oh yeah, some could have done.
Those
Some
are
could have
signs
gone
of
different.
healing, because you're
Yeah.
acknowledging that there was a problem on
Yeah.
your end
Yeah.
that should have been addressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if you was like, oh, like people say, oh man, I can hate that man forever. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to talk to him no more. But like you said, you don't have to talk about it, but internally you
Yeah.
thinking about it, man.
You contending with it. Oh yeah. You listen. You doing all kind of backflips and all
Yes,
kinds of
sir.
stuff with that.
Absolutely.
And that's that space where we really got to be real with ourselves. You're never really done with anything or anyone
Yes.
because of the data, right? We carry data, period, especially in our hearts. We carry the data. And so, even as far as, and it sucks, but even as far as abuse, right, in its many forms, you can be healed, you can be delivered, you can be restored, but you're going to carry the data,
Yes.
period. Because that's how we learn. That's how we protect ourselves from future offenses and things of that nature, is the past data. Use that information to see the signs so that you don't fall prey to it again.
Yes.
So you're never truly done. And I say that to say, even in the midst of stewing or holding grudges or whatever, it's never going to be fully a cut and dry thing.
No.
It's just not. There's always going to be a space where your heart and your mind either goes towards that person, or you think about them, or you wonder, because at your heart of hearts, nobody wants to be alone.
Yes. That's
You know what I
those are
mean?
facts.
We do better in community than anything else. But back to relationship, to couples, men and women. Couples. I'm gonna call it like a TIE. Man, say what you want. Now, I know what the Bible tell me anyway.
Talk to 'em.
We ain't excluding, but it is exclusive. I'm saying.
Speak the truth, shame the devil.
I'm
you know
saying,
what
bro. Hey, but when you with relationship, yeah, we need to talk it out. I'm the type of person who I don't have a problem with conflict. I'm not necessarily going to run towards it, but I don't have a problem with it.
Yes.
So if Lady B, shout out to Lady B, babe, I love you. So if Lady B is feeling some kind of way, then I'm going to ask what's wrong, try to assess what's going on. If she starts to pull back or starts to shut down, I'm going to bid her come, right? I'm going to ask her to come out of that space. Mm-hmm. But if she refuses, I'm not going to keep coming down on her, or because all that's going to do is make her continue to draw further into herself. Mm-hmm. Same thing with men, right? If I'm feeling some kind of way, you come to me, you ask me if I really don't want to talk about it, or I just really need my space, or I really need some time, then I'm going to take that time and I'm going to get my space. If you keep coming at me, one or two things is going to happen.
Yeah.
Either one, I'm blasting back,
You gonna lash
or
out?
I'm going to just retreat
Yes.
very quickly the opposite direction. And so that shutdown is a scary place, but sometimes it's necessary, because hopefully in that moment of retreat, you start to gain some clarity.
And it's not what you do, is how you do it.
True that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, your approach and how you do things
Mhm.
matters.
Yeah, it really
You know what I'm
does.
saying?
It really does.
And I've learned that over the last couple of years, man, like far as, my approach as being a father, being a companion, you evaluate certain situations that you have been in and that has occurred in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at it, man, and it's like, if I had handled that differently, or if I had a different tone in my voice when I was talking, or
Mhm.
my approach, the whole outcome could have been different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
why a lot of times I would tell people, don't react in emotion. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
Make sure you gather yourself and kind of like, get you some space, get you some air, and then revisit, like you said earlier. When two people are colliding and yelling and, arguing at each other, you're not getting anywhere. there's
No
no
way.
solution there.
No,
And like
no.
you said, somebody has to be humble enough to like, hey, realize and evaluate the situation. Like, hey, we're not
Oh, yeah.
getting anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna just be humble. I'm not gonna say anything else. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you'll see how everything start to shift. Things start to change. The conversation, her or he, whoever
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
have
It's
a
gonna shift.
conversation with.
Yeah. Yeah.
The volume level's gonna go down. The
Man.
moods and everything is gonna shift.
Oh, and it has to. It has to, because somebody has to be Dr. Candace, and I had to introduce you to her. She's my god aunt, amazing preacher. I've heard other preachers say it, but she uses this analogy as well, and that is, in any given moment, we're supposed to be the atmosphere changers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm supposed to be the thermostat, not the thermometer.
Yes.
So if I'm reading the room and I see that things are heating up, I have the power to cool it off
Yes.
or raise the temperature. Raise the temperature. There's some now, and the thing is, there's the balance, right? Because there are times when B got to be cooled off.
Okay.
It got to be cooled off.
Yes, sir.
I mean, babe, take it easy now. But there's also times when I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna turn up the heat on this.
Okay.
Because if I do, the response that I truly believe I'm going to get is going to be amazing, because now there's more thinking that has to happen. Now we're kind of allowing whatever emotions or thoughts to bubble up in such a way that they're exposed.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because sometimes stuff doesn't get exposed.
Yes.
And, in some instances, the exposure is how you are privy to what's taking place so that you can deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think there's the striking the balance. So, yeah, men, we got to do better with communicating, though, in general, because even if you do want to retreat, even if you do want to shut down, what's the harm in saying, you know what, I need a minute.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
And no harm in me, you know what, just give me a couple days.
Yeah.
Give me a couple days, God bless you. But I gotta go over here for a couple days, because I need to deal with this. If we communicate a lot better than we have been, I think even in the midst of a shutting down or shutting it down or what have you, as long as there's an understanding, because that's really, at the end of the day, what women really want.
Yeah, communication is key.
Man, they need to hear it.
And like I said, man, me personally, like I said, I speak for me. I'm not, talking to nobody else. Like
Mhm.
my personal experience is that, I've told myself, that I have to communicate better. I have to be better.
Mhm,
Whether it's
mhm.
a father, a companion, employee, a owner, it
Mhm,
don't matter. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? I can
mhm.
always control me.
Yeah, true,
You know?
true.
And through situations, man, I really have God has showed me, what the outcome can be when you humble yourself
Mm-hmm.
and when you communicate, you know what I'm saying, and talk, instead of just, with actions like, you know what, I'm upset, I'm gonna just spaz out, I'm gonna just do it out, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like you said, relationship wise, let's say, you upset at something bad happened at work, you know what I mean, and you go home, and instead of like taking a moment
Mm-hmm.
to sit down with your significant other, like, sweetheart, I had a rough day today,
Mhm.
I wanna talk about it, you know what I'm saying, can I get your ear for a minute,
Mhm.
your heart?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times we go in, we have things we have to, do at home, because
Bruh.
you're the man.
Start
You
knocking
gotta
off that
get shit
list.
Straight, knocking off the list, you feel me? Why you just salty, bro? Like you like, man. And then and this is why it's so important, because somebody can say one thing or one thing cannot be in place, and then you smash it off.
Good.
Like, I've been at work all day,
Man.
you know what I'm saying? The same,
Bruh.
like, and it's like, I'll be at my daughter one day, because it happened, and my daughter has something out of place or whatever, and I'm like, Jada, I done told you.
I done told you.
Like, we have this
Yo.
conversation multiple times.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I expect.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why is it like this? And the thing is, it ain't even that big of a deal, but because I've
Yeah.
already got other things going on,
Yeah,
and I haven't, took hold of that and took care of that. I'm going off on my daughter, like it's her fault, and that's not right,
Bruh.
And it's like she looking at me like, Dad, dude, like it's just
Yeah, like, take it easy.
Why is you spazzing? Like, what's wrong?
Bruh.
And it's crazy, Kiwa. I'm like, and I realize, I just take a step back, like, man, I'm out of pocket. Like, let me gather myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why,
Dang,
like
bro.
you said earlier, that communication is very important, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it really
you
is.
know, you can't
Yeah.
be afraid to vent and talk about things, but a lot of times another thing that kind of prevent men from doing that is because they don't trust. You know,
Yes.
it's certain people, certain individuals, they feel like, okay, this doesn't happen in my life,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I gave people that trust,
yep.
and instilled
They
them
abused
this,
it.
and they abused it. So
Yeah.
now I have no trust to where I can't talk to anyone. And then if
Man.
you did, they either probably passed away, or you no longer have that relationship with that individual that you did trust,
Yeah,
because at some point that
Yeah.
trust was broken.
yeah,
So now you fractured. So
Yeah.
now it's everybody else's fault that you can't trust and can't vent.
bruh. Dang. And trusting people to, or trusting the moments to share, you know what I mean, your triggers. You know what I'm saying? Like, but here's the other part though, bruh.
Talk to me.
Us being aware in relationship, I had to learn and am still learning. I will continue to be learning. I got to learn her.
Yes.
And if I'm watching, if I'm paying attention, I'm not just concerned with my day to day, but I'm also concerned about how her day is going,
Yes, sir.
what she's doing, how she's moving, and things of that nature. If I'm watching, if I'm staying watchful, then I'll see what the triggers are. You know what I'm saying? The reason for her reaction to certain things. If I'm not paying attention, I won't see it.
Yes, sir.
And I'll always get caught off guard with it if I'm not doing that. So that's the other part is, yes, we do need to be trusting to share that, because that's what I was going to say. We need to be trusting enough to be able to share, hey, you know what? This bothers me. When people have done this in the past, that bothered me.
Yes.
I ain't saying you're going to do it. I'm just telling you, if you do,
So you're aware.
this bothers me. Cool. Man, we need to be gathering that data, locking it away, and or setting it aside so that we can go and grab it when we need it. Because if we're not paying attention to one another, it is going to be those moments where now somebody is retreating or somebody is coming at you because of a trigger, and it may not have really been your fault.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it is your fault if you didn't see the signs that were available to you.
Yeah.
You walk head first into that. You're like, just come on, man. So, man, look, there's so much more that we're going to talk about. I'm really grateful to introduce you guys to one of our newest podcast members.
Amen.
Right, one of our newest
Bless
members
you.
of the
Thank
Faith
you,
and
man.
Fire podcast, my guy, DB. Hey, shout out to CG. He has,
What's up, C?
man, he's busy. He has a lot going on this weekend. Y'all
And
keeping me
busy
in
is
prayers.
good.
Busy is good. Busy is good. Yeah,
You
he'll
know?
be preaching
It's a
this
balance,
Sunday.
you know?
So yeah, CG's doing his thing. So y'all keep him lifted up. But we'll be back in the studio again soon, and we do have 3 episodes that are gonna be coming out over the next week and a half. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Again, just a little fireside chat. What I want y'all to understand and walk away with from all of this is, number one, results may vary. Just because there's somebody else that's doing what you're doing, or somebody has something that you would desire to have, and so forth and so on. Be careful not to fall into coveting what they have, because if you do get it, just know the results are going to vary, because you're not them. They're not you. It's not going to be identical. You're not going to get the exact same solution or result or resolve from any of that. What God has for you is for you. Stop putting yourself up against others and comparing your life to others, comparing your success to others. Don't do that. It's a dangerous and slippery slope, because you have a process, a plan, and a purpose that God is taking you through for you. Even if it does look like somebody else's, it's still yours alone. Theirs is theirs, yours is yours. So if things start going awry, you go back to the source. Go back to God. He got you. You can't go back to anybody else. It's Him who's got you. So that's that part. The other part is just, briefly we were tapping into communicating. Man, listen, I'm going to need y'all we got to do better now. We got to do better. We got to talk to each other,
Yes, sir.
to our wives, our boos, our bays, what have you. We gotta do better, man, with communicating and not just shutting it down, not just flying off the handles or retreating within ourselves, because we're not doing great in that place. And a lot of us are hurting and are not talking and are not sharing and are not being vulnerable. And once that weight really hits, we're doing the most. And a lot of times it's something that is final.
Yeah.
Something that's final. So we'll continue to keep you all in our prayers. I pray that you guys would like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think, your thoughts on what we've shared. I'm not the expert. D's not the expert. But listen, we are listening to God, and we desire to share exactly what the Spirit is sharing with us. That's the goal. If we don't always get it right, the other part is we're human. So
Exactly.
there's that. So y'all tap in with us. Keep checking back. There's going to be more to come. Instagram is getting ready to start blowing up here. I'm going to have some more stuff posted and things of that nature, so that you guys be up to speed on what we're doing and where we're going and how we're moving. But I'm grateful for you all. And yeah, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share